We've started off with just doing some rolling, some changes, and as I say, when you're high up, you can rotate in and scoop underneath. You can rotate in and scoop underneath. An easy for just to remind us. So again, on change is very easy. From down on the lowest position, I've got two choices. I can make him do the change for me, or I can do the change myself. As long as you keep that tight, then that's fine. Tight but not tense. And when I'm high, from the ding sound position, I can rotate in, and then effectively, lose that will. If he's got like a hook here in his hand, I'm rotating within that position. If he turns inwards, like a bit like a bad, what do you call it, ventriloquist, yeah. Hello. So when you turn that in toward yourself, if you will, I'm sort of going to slip off of that. So while it's still there, I'm rotating inside. If he turns toward himself, I'm going to slide off to the outside. But you can, of course, cheat a little bit or encourage a little bit by flicking the fingers on that. So that's what I'm looking at there. On that change is we've got a little bit of you using your wrist and even your fingers to encourage a smooth, high change. While doing that, there was some of you that were rolling, and it looks like your thought on the roll was on your hands as well. Do you remember the 3 simple rules that I give you for Chi Sao? Do you remember what these are? If anyone wants to point to the first one.
Highest and lowest elbow positions.
Cool, yeah. Number 1, highest and lowest. If you're just thinking of your highest and lowest elbow positions, then that's an easy way of making sure that you've got good shape. If there's any force or resistance against that, any pressure needed, that comes from the base of your forearm. And number 3, keep your hand relaxed until it's time to not be relaxed. So that's your 1, 2, 3. I was kind of talking about this on last night's, on Monday night's live stream class as well. That if you want to try this with me, everyone just do a tan, if you will. And I want you to kind of rotate from between tan and bone by thinking of your elbow going around and back down. So a big circle. So we're doing this wrong, right? I want you to think of a circle round and a circle back. Circle round and a circle back. So it's a struggle to do. So you're not going to do it. So keep circling your elbow. What I want you to think of now is, from your tan, put a little bit of kind of artistic license into your wrist. We're going to have a circle, a big scoop and a scoop. So we're going to scoop the hand, we're going to scoop upwards with the hand, scoop downwards with the hand. The elbows following suit as well. Now I want you to keep this really simple. From your tan, just think of the elbow going nothing but directly upwards. Everything will switch off and the elbow goes directly skyward. Then the elbow just simply straight down, tucks in. Skyward, relax that hand, forget what you think it should look like and try and get used to what it should feel like. So elbow tucked in, elbow straight up. So the hand is floppy and relaxed. Back down. This is how we get palm up. Remember, this is tan sound. We're not kind of pulling on the tendons and so on to get any extra tension. We just want this relaxed. The elbow straight up and straight down. And so when we're rolling, thanks, you can relax. When we're rolling in Chi Sao, I want you to think of the elbow in that time, that method, that mentality. So that's how you get your good rotation. Your changes then can be supported by what you do in your wrist. Could I use you for something? Lovely, thank you. I'm going to see if this works. No, I can't. So, I want to give an example of like views. And this is a time when we would think more about our hands than our elbows. So, put that one behind your back. And what I want you to do is, when I go for a change underneath, I want you to lapse out. So, can you pull down quick? Boom, super fast, that's it. So, as soon as I go underneath, you pull down and trot my hands. You have to be faster than that, okay? So, I go for this. And great track, excellent. Again, great track. Now we'll try this side. So all you're going to do is just straight down, yeah. So as soon as you can relax in a comfortable position, and as soon as you see me go under, bang, straight down. Here, that's it, exactly. So at the point I cross, here, you have to be faster. Here, great, fast, boom, straight under. So he's doing that really well, and fast. So faster still if you can, because now you won't get it. And so you'll see it come in. So lapse down, grab, boom, that's it. That's what we're after. So now you won't get it. Again, you won't get it. Grab, boom, underneath, grab. And it's not a trick. I'm not doing a trick on this. pull down, boom, super fast. As soon as I move, I haven't gone yet. As soon as I move, straight down, boom, down. And it's not, I'm not doing, as I say, any tricks. The only thing I'm not doing now is crossing my hand before. And that was because I was given a delay, and a delay is your vulnerability. So this time, you will do it again, but it's much slower. As I'm going underneath, I'm crossed, he pulls down. That's the, yeah, straight down on the top. No, as you
Okay, so
yeah, excellent. And that's the problem. What I want you to do is, if you can almost just keep a straight arm and push down on my hand. Because before, it's a little bit like I was doing just that constant pressure. Like a place and remove, like so. Now I'm doing a drop and catch. And that's how I'm doing the punch. I'm dropping and catch, drop and catch, drop and catch. Which means now if you grab my arm, you can't possibly grab it because this has not gone forward until that's gone. So now they're simply not crossed at any point. So it doesn't matter if I'm doing this slow or fast. Never sacrifice technique for speed or power. When we go super fast and we get super strong, then we end up telegraphing, we overcommit, and that's when we're vulnerable. So this is a time, brilliant, thank you very much. This is a time when we're going to allow ourselves to think about the hands. So when we do views, we go underneath with the view. But don't think about going forwards so much with this one, but think of coming back with this one, like so. That sounds like I might be keeping a delay, but I'm not, because it's no different to the principles of punches and palms. This one doesn't remain out while I punch. I don't punch and then pull back. You know, that's the whole point. When he did a lap and punch really well, he would lap and punch together. You all did like lap and punch and these kind of techniques at start of class. We don't ever have delays on this. It goes together. So as the punch is going forwards, that's already coming back. Punch goes forwards, that's already coming back. View goes forwards, this is already coming back. But in application, because we have a contact, we can allow ourselves to maintain that contact and that feeling for far too long before we then think of how we get out. So again, what I'm emphasising there is just to give the allowed time and effort to when it needs to be an elbow, when it needs to be a hand. So for rolling, simply up and down. Ben and I were talking about right? When people are kind of strong, and what can happen is that, let's say that if we're rolling and someone's pushing you about, you know, bouncing you and trying to move you, of course, if he pushes, I should be able to absorb and you pull, I should be able to relax. So I should have a choice in this, but to an extent. Remember, you can do anything you want in G-Sal, provided you get away with it, and provided it's your choice. And if you're getting pushed and pulled, it might not be so I'll push you now. It might not be as easy to get that feeling at that particular time. You know, some of you are coming to Hong Kong with me later, and what tends to happen there is sometimes people might like to push you into chairs and pull you about and drag you around. I don't think we should, when we play, we shouldn't kind of go straight in with that mentality. Let's sort of have a nice comfortable roll, see what's happening, and then we'll take it from there. But if somebody does step back and pull you, remember you've got that choice that you can push in, you can follow that. You know, if somebody pushes you, you can use the same idea. So you push, if he pushes here, I can use the same idea of continuing that motion. So that's almost a little bit like, be careful what you wish for. But instead of just forward and back, we can also go up and down. And this is again when we can play to our elbows and our hands. So if I'm pushing on you, that's it, so you resist. And if I'm getting stronger and stronger and pushing, what I want you to do is just to lift me upwards. So as I'm pushing forward, lift me up with your elbows. So I'm going to push strong first. And then I go from the push here, and he lifts up. Now he's lifted up, and I'm tense, and my toes are lifted off the ground. At that, well, you kind of know what's going to come, but now switch off from your elbows, and with your fingers just snap straight down. That's it. So we're going to lift up and down, basically chunky when we start here. This kind of still, that same principle, in and forwards. So if he was pushing here, then as he pushes, I can lift upwards, and then I'm going to switch my elbows off, and just think straight down. But I'm being kind there, because we would take it straight down. If you do it a little bit more on me, so as I push you, you're going to lift the elbows up. So I'm going to push there and then down with the hands here, and a very easy way of then striking. And then also, and then you give the double hit as well. You know, which is not, again, too dissimilar to, again, the sort of chunk you kind of principle. And what we're learning there is when to go from fingers to elbows to hands. You know, so there's third section of Su and Tao. We see Bon, Tan, Tok Sao, level, lift. What we're also looking at there is shoulder, elbow, wrist, fingers. Because if I do a Pak Sao on him and he jams, he's jammed my hand but not my fingers. So I've still got that opportunity here to take on a downward trajectory. So we need to understand when it's right to use one area over another, and not kind of just to allow ourselves to be like a mannequin, like a whole plastic cast of the shape and roll the whole thing. The shape is important, yes, but how we go from or transit from one shape to another is what we're looking at. So elbows, highest and lowest, and the forearm all flicky. It's a technical phrase. Until, of course, it's time to use that hand position, and then we'll apply that explosive power. We'll power up a little bit for this view. I just want you to try this. So again, as soon as I cross you lap, get up and behind your back. So you've been a lap there. So if I go underneath, just straight down, that's it. And on this one, straight down. And the idea is that I want you thinking of pulling this away as you change, away. It's going to be the same time. I just want you to change that perception of how you're getting in transit from the one shape to the other, just that little bit. Brilliant. Cheers. Thanks for listening to that, guys. Change the pattern, we'll have